What's going on, everybody? It is Wednesday again, and I am here to do Lost on the Shelf episode 3. Um, it took me a little long to get this done today, as I had to go into work today. I normally work at home on Wednesdays, which is why I've been able to get this done. And I was not going to do it today, but I decided, fuck it, let's just get it done. And happy I'm doing it because instead of 2 films this week, I actually have 3 films because I had a little extra time today to watch a film on the train. So, first one I'm going to talk about is from 2016, and it is The Curse of Dr. Wolfenstein. This is from Real Gore Releasing. It is directed by Mark Ronstock, which I probably said that name wrong. He's the director that did Necronos, which a lot of people are familiar with that one. So this one follows the story of this doctor. When the film starts, he's in Germany in 1930, typing away on his typewriter and narrates it. He claims to have found the secret and created the formula for immortality. While he's typing everything out, he says when he started with this, anybody he gave it to, animals or humans, died. So he has been working on it, and he now has perfected it. Although, while not perfect, I guess it's keeping him alive. He says that parts of his body are dying, to which he robs graves to get the parts that he needs. Now, the townspeople know what he does, believe he's the devil, and form a lynch mob to get rid of him. When they get to his home, he injects himself again with this serum, and when they find him, he's talking as if he is possessed. They cut out his tongue and bury him alive, and in Evil Dead fashion, his hand comes out of the grave, and that's all before the opening credits. After that, you get to present day, and I can see why I have not watched this film in a while, because when they get to present day, there's a group of kids, early 20s, that get tickets to go to a rave, and they just start, they're in like some park, and start celebrating that they got these tickets to begin with, and in the middle of that, we flash now back to the doctor who is alive. Not well, looks like hell. Kind of looks like the way he does on the cover. He's covered in blood. He's just a mess. His hands are black, which I'm not sure if it's blood or a combination of blood and dying body parts. But anyway, he's got somebody on his table, and he cuts off this guy's arm from like the elbow down. And the guy was probably the same age, roughly, as the kids that were just partying in the park in the early 20s, I'd say. He sits down at his desk and pulls off his own arm from the elbow down, and he has like a rod coming out from the elbow, almost like a doll. And he puts on this body part that he just cut off of somebody, stitches it up, injects it with the serum, and shortly after that, everything starts working. So this is what he is still doing. Obviously, you have no idea how long. Well, it's 1930s to present day, so he's been alive all these years and doing this because I guess he still has not perfected the serum to keep himself completely alive, including all of his body parts. But it goes back and forth. It's very sloppy. Like, it goes back and forth between the kids in the park, back to the doctor, and then they're going to drive to this rave. And even in there and whatnot, we're just flashing back and forth between the doctor and these kids. So it was just all over the place. And every time they went back to the doctor, he's got somebody new on his table. Guys, girls, he's cutting body parts off, or just killing them, or injecting them, I guess working on his serum. No explanation of where they are, or where they are, but where they came from. He also has some cage on the table that's covered that he keeps feeding something that's in there. We have no idea what that is. Anyway, the kids, their car breaks down right by some type of service station, which is also a hotel. Uh, these two mechanics, and the head mechanic says it's not going to be ready until tomorrow. They stay there at the hotel, go to some disco down the street. Now, all of this that I'm just saying, the back and forth, and seeing the doctor kill all these random people, which sometimes it's one, two, sometimes it's three people. This all takes place over the first like hour of the film. Then we finally start to see things that start to bring everything together. The head mechanic, while the kids go out to the disco, is looking for his dog and comes across this like white substance on the ground. You had seen that white substance in the doctor's laboratory, and it turns out it's a creature that the doctor has been feeding is out, and he attacks the mechanic. And after the mechanic is attacked, the mechanic attacks his assistant, his partner. His partner ends up at the disco, and presumably he's in the bathroom with one of the group of kids that are going to this rave, and you just presume that he attacks him. Once that all happens, that kid goes back to the hotel because he just doesn't feel good. And the next thing you know, it's the next morning, and the car is ready to go. They all pile back in, and now they go to this random building, and the kid that we believe there's something wrong with is the one that's driving, gets out of the car, yanks his girlfriend out of the car. His friend tries to stop him. He knocks him out, and from there, it goes that these kids meet the doctor. And the last probably 45 minutes of the film is all involved with that, with the mechanics and everything like kind of making sense at that point. It is a long film. It's an hour and 55 minutes. It definitely could have been shorter. I will say, like the second half of it, I wouldn't say saves it. It makes it an okay film, but if you are somebody that are into practical effects and gore, this film has it, and a lot of it. As I said, it's a German film, and everything is practical, and there's all kinds of killings. I should have counted how many people the doctor you see end up killing, but it's got to be, it's up there. It's up there. A lot of people die in this movie, and it's all practical effects, very realistic, and really well done. So if you are into that, this is definitely a film to check out. If you're looking for a solid all-around story, this is not the film for you to check out, because it's a mess until about, like I said, about the last 45 minutes of it. So enjoyable though for the practical effects people. I love practical effects, so watching it again, I realized like, okay, the story's a mess. That's why I haven't watched this in such a long time. But then looking at the practical effects, it's like, okay, I remember that now. Got to get past the story being kind of a mess and just enjoy what they do with the practical effects because it's impressive. So, The Curse of Dr. Wolfenstein, first film. Let me know if anybody's seen this. If you have this, if you've seen it, I do believe it's out of print now. I tried to check around, see if I can find it anywhere. Amazon, Diabolic, Grindhouse. I think I had checked Orbit too. I couldn't find it anywhere. But take a look on eBay. Don't spend too much though. Not worth it. Entertaining though, for sure. All right. Next up, we have an indie film from 2016 that was very, very much sought after and very hard to get until recently again. And this is Harvest Lake. This is from, I was going to say his name wrong because I always do. Scott Shermer, I believe is the way you say his name. It has Ellie Church, Tristan Risk. Mine is signed. That's the little writings on there and whatnot. I did not back this. This was an Indiegogo, I believe, or a Kickstarter. I did not back this, but after it came out, I did pick up a copy directly from Scott's site, and it is available again just recently. They just repressed the Blu-ray. It's also available on digital if you're a digital person through Scott's website. This film is different than what you may be familiar with Scott. If you're familiar with Headless and Found, Bad Man, those are more horror and graphic practical effects. That's not this at all. This is more of a mystery, not so far as, I guess science fiction, but like a mystery science fiction story, sexually charged story. A lot of sex in this. The film starts, there's these kids that are not on the cover. There's a couple that's at a lake, chasing each other around, living life, have sex in the woods, or sleeping on the ground after that, and get up, don't really say anything, they just appear to be in a trance, hold hands, walk into the lake until they're gone. So you presume that they drown. After that, Tristan Risk, Ellie Church, their names are Kat and Jennifer. I wrote things down because I'm terrible memory. Kat and Jennifer, and they have Ben and Josh with them. Ben is Kat's boyfriend. Jennifer is single, and Josh happens to be gay, which Jennifer said that she brought him along so that she has somebody to talk to, while the other two are just having wild sex, basically. So they make their way out to this nice house. It's not exactly a cabin, but it's in the middle of the woods. Very nice looking, fully furnished, very nice. They make their way out to the lake because it's not that far away, and once they go down to the lake and get in through the water, nothing seems to happen. But as they're all laying out in the sun on the beach after that, all kinds of things start to happen. Kat and Ben wake up in that trance, start to make out a little bit, then head back into the woods. Jennifer wakes up and heads into the water. Seems a little confused of why she's doing it, but then heads into the water and appears to be just enjoying herself in the water. Josh wakes up and starts to head to the woods, and he sees something that stops him. Meanwhile, Jennifer in the water, they show an under the water shot, and there are these tentacles starting to wrap around her leg and drag her under the water. Out in the woods, Ben and Kat come across these egg-looking things that appear to be like breathing. Also, these very slimy, looks like wild mushrooms, like gigantic wild mushrooms growing on like trees and whatnot, that are like secreting. Just very weird, but they're just completely mesmerized by them. But when Josh stumbles across something and starts screaming for everybody kind of snaps out of it. Jennifer just randomly appeared behind him, and Ben and Kat got there too. Everybody's a little freaked out because what they found was the swim top of the girl from the beginning of the film, kind of covered in blood. So they head back to the house. Now, while they're going out there, since it is Ben's birthday, is why they're going out there. But Kat asked Jennifer as a birthday present to have a threesome with Ben, and Jennifer was not having it. But after they went to the lake, she was all for it. Now, when they had gotten out there, they met some guy that was hiking. It's very brief, very not on camera, really. But he shows up when they're back at the house. They're sitting outside a nice bonfire, playing Truth or Dare. Of course, why not? And everybody is just like fully sexually charged. The guy that appears that they have been hiking, his name is Mark. He is also gay, so he and Josh go off, and he said there's something about these woods. He's just been like, just in the mood, like ever since he's just gotten there. Um, Back at the house, that threesome, of course, happens. And while that's happening, Ben thinks he sees something with Jennifer that is not Jennifer. And it freaks him the hell out. But he kind of shakes his head and, no, it's her. We're okay. We're good. And after that, it just goes nuts. This is, I don't want to go further than that because I don't want to give everything away. This is a short film. It's only 78 minutes. Yep, 78 minutes. It is available again through Scott Shermer's website. Highly recommend it. This is a weird, wild film. I've been enjoying it for a while now, but I have not been able to pull it off the rack recently. It's kind of been buried at the bottom down there, and with the work I had done for my basement, this whole area over here I couldn't get to. So it's really been like that since late 2020. So it's been a little more than 2 years or so since I've seen this one. Not as long as some of the other ones that I've pulled out, but it's been more than 2 years. So I thought I would grab this one. Decent amount of bonus features too, with commentaries, blooper reels, things like that. Oh, one thing, since it was just the original release was 750 copies. But it's available again. It's cheap too. I think the Blu-ray is like $15, and you can get it signed by Scott as well. And I don't think there's any extra charge for that. So if I remember, I'll try to add his website to the bottom of this when I'm done. And since I had a little extra time, I thought I'd fit in one more. And it's a film that I really like. I haven't watched it in a while, obviously. This is why I added it to this. But it's a film that I don't hear anybody talk about anymore. It was one of those films that when it came out, it was very spoken about. And now every once in a while, when you mention it to somebody, they light up and say, holy shit, yes, great film. I haven't watched it in a while. And I get that that happens because this is why I'm doing this. The Monster. This is another one, I think, from 2016. Yep, 2016, 91-minute film. It is from I believe, the director of The Strangers. Yep, director of The Strangers. I'm on top of my shit. Anyway, this story with this one starts with a mother and a daughter who clearly have some friction between them, and the mother's supposed to drive the daughter to her father's home. Mom gets up an hour late and then apparently falls back to sleep and wakes up in the middle of the afternoon, and they start driving. Then they're on this quiet, dark back road. It's paved and everything, so it's not like a dirt road or anything like that, but it's pouring rain. There are lights on the road, but there's nobody around, and they get into an accident. They hit a wolf. So they get out of the car to look at the car and go over to the wolf to check out the wolf, who's just laying in the road, not moving. And they see the mother pull something out from the side of the wolf, and it's a big tooth. At that point, they're a little freaked out and go get back in the car. They do have a cell phone. They call for help. And now they're just in the car with the tooth on the dashboard, try to figure things out. A tow truck arrives, grabs their bags to throw them into his tow truck so that they can jump in the truck while he tows them. And they decide that, no, actually, we want to stay here. Is that cool? Can you tow us? Yeah, no problem. He looks at the car, looks under the car. There's an axle that's broken and says he needs to do a few things before he can tow them, so sit tight. While he's doing this, well, when he arrived, actually, they noticed that the wolf is gone. The girl's mother figured that he probably crawled into the woods just to die and forget about it, leave it alone. Daughter is nervous because of the tooth that they found. She's worried that there's something else out there. So as the tow truck driver is working on the car, they realize that their cell phone is now with the bags in the tow truck. So mother, being a nice mother she is, tells the kid, go get it. So her daughter goes out to get it. The tow truck guy says, give me a minute, or if you want, just go over and get it yourself. She walks over there. The truck's locked, so she can't get in. She's yelling for the guy, but he's like, hold on. He's telling her, wait. The truck is in the area that the wolf was, and she's looking at the ground. You can see the blood on the ground and everything. She walks and follows it into the woods and finds the wolf there, and the wolf is in bad shape and eaten for the most part. And as she's looking at it, behind her, you kind of see what's on the cover here. Very brief. It's gone. It's very dark. It's hard to see. She makes her way back to the car. The tow truck guy is still working under the car, and he starts to hear this really strange noise. And he starts looking around. He has no idea what the hell that was. They hear it from inside the car, and they're looking around trying to figure it out. And they start yelling for him, and he's not answering. So at this point, back and forth, they decide to get out of the car. Mother gets out of the car this time, starts looking around, can't find him. She's yelling for him, nothing. And as she's doing all that, slamming into the hood of the car is an arm that's clearly from this tow truck guy. And once that happens, once again, just like the other movie I'm telling you, everything gets going even more so from there. There's already good suspenseful scenes and feeling throughout. Great score, keeping you on the edge of your seat. And this is a film, I'm not going to go any further, that if you don't have it, if you've never seen it, definitely pick this one up. It is extremely well done. That's it. Those are the 3 films that I got for you this week for episode 3 of Lost on the Shelf. Next week, I don't know. I haven't decided yet where to go and look and whatnot. I haven't gone to this side of my collection where I have a lot of box sets and things like that, like some of the bigger size things. So I may go that direction next week to try to pull something new out. But thank you very much for checking this out. I hope you are enjoying this little series that I'm doing, and I hope to keep doing them. Let me know if you've seen any of these films. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I appreciate it. And we'll see what we come up with next week. Until then, thanks again, guys. I'll talk to you.